What's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Thomas. In this video, we're going to be going over how to set up hotkeys on Webull. I am right here on my platform, so I'm going to cut out any intro stuff and we're just going to dive right in. Real quick though, this setup, this layout, there's a video already on the channel if you have any questions on how to set a setup up that looks like this. Webull customized layout. Look that up on YouTube or in the search of my channel. So you come to a page like this, or let's say you're on the main trading or the stocks section right here. Whatever setup you have, you're on Webull, you're on the desktop platform, and you want to set up some hotkeys so that you can get in and out of trades fast. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, it's because sometimes you're playing stocks. For example, I'll tell you guys right here, WTRH right here, the day that I'm filming this video in the after hour session, spikes up on news. Whether you have a news streamer or you get your news from somewhere else, or you see a stock spiking up, or you want to enter super fast at a certain point, you can do that with the power of hotkeys. So what you want to do is you want to go to the bottom left section of the broker. There's this little settings tab right down here in the bottom left corner. Click on that. Then you're going to get to this page. On this page, the second little tab is going to say hotkeys. At least as of right now, with the current update, that's what it says. If things change, it might be slightly different in the future, but there's going to be a section that says hotkeys. From here, you then have the ability to set up a lot of different hotkeys, and we can dive through a few of these things, but once you figure out the basics, you can go back and do this yourself. So now what we have right here is a general section to change stocks, to refresh the page, and these are already set up here. Option 2, Option 1, Option R. So if I want to refresh my page, if I go back to the page, if I go back to my stock page and I just go Option and I go R, it's going to refresh for me. Boom, just like that. That's already set up for me, okay? So let me go back to the hotkeys section really quick. The part that everyone wants to get to is actually executing trades, because this stuff is actually kind of cool, but it's not necessarily the most important when it comes to hotkeys, right? When it comes to hotkeys, you want to be able to get in and out of trades like that, right? So how do we do that, and how do we make sure we can set our trades up? Well, you're going to want to go to this section right here under the trade tab, and then you're going to want to go to the active trade section. Okay, this is where the fun begins. Now my screen is a little bit skewed, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the editing now. Okay, here is where it gets fun. Now there's a lot of options and confusion here, so stick with me. It's not too complicated, but you know, I would take it one step at a time. So the way that I started using hotkeys myself is I kind of ease into it. Now, it's more useful for someone who's a day trader or an active trader. I'm someone who primarily swings, have been doing more scalp trades here and there lately, but primarily a swing trader, so I don't need them too much, but they're definitely useful, and I have been using them from time to time. So what you want to do first is what most people are going to do is when it comes to stocks. Now, you can actually set up hotkeys for options and position sizings and things like that, which we'll dive into in a second, but most people are going to be concerned with this top tab right here, placing orders on given stocks. So there's buy market, buy bid, buy ask. That's the key we're going to go off of right here. So what I would recommend is you have a couple of these set up for different situations. Certain situations you're going to want to get in, but you might not be in as big of a rush as if you were on other situations. So everything's going to be different. But let's say for the average person, I have this set up already. I'll dive through kind of my settings right here. Now it really comes down to a lot of different things, and you can set your quantity different. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up a buy bid. So what I like to buy, I want to be buying towards the bid, and I'm going to be selling towards the ask. But here's the thing. If the bid and the ask are pretty, wide, or if there's a big gap or if there's a big spread, you may not get filled. So for example, if you're trading a stock that's $1.10 on the bid, and it may be $1.20 on the ask, it's got a pretty big spread, right? That's a significant spread. You want to get filled as low as possible, but the bid may not fill you. If you buy towards the ask, yeah, you're going to get filled. But buying on the bid, you might have to wait for a while, and if the stock moves up, you're going to miss out. So how do you offset that? Well, I use something called a limit offset. So first off, I click right here and do limit order. If you're buying on the bid, you're going to need to use limit order. The quantity is next. Now you can click on this thing right here and change the quantity. So currently I have shares set up for 100 shares. If you trade stocks that are relatively in the same price range, set this up to kind of whatever amount of shares works best for you. But if you trade a lot of different stocks, then you can set this up to percentages. So you can set this up to a percentage of your account, which is actually really interesting. Or you can set this up to a dollar amount. So maybe you're going to set this up to a certain dollar amount. And as your account grows, you can go back in and edit this setting. But let's say right now you're only comfortable with trading or day trading with hotkeys, let's say on $100 or $1,000. Well, then you can enter that number in right there, and it's going to buy $100 worth. So if the stock's a $40 stock, you're going to buy 2 shares. The stock's a $51 stock, you're actually probably only going to get 1 share. share of that stock. Understand when you're putting that dollar amount in, know the types of stocks you're generally trading before you make those types of trades. So you can do a bunch of different things. I would recommend a share size if you're roughly trading the same type of stocks. That could be pretty good to start. Then it comes down to some of the settings. So what I'm going to do here is, obviously we're doing a buy bid, so you only have only one option here, but the limit offset is right here. So I'm going to change this to 1 cent. Now, what is this going to do? This is going to say, I am going to buy the bid plus 1 cent. I know it's a little bit small, it's up in the top. I'm going to buy 100 shares or place an order for 100 shares at the bid plus 1 cent. So if the bid is $1.10, it's going to put my order in at $1.11. This way I have a higher chance of being filled. Now, if the bid and the ask are 1 cent off, you're pretty much filling yourself at the ask. Just understand that when you're going in. Now I can dive through the time in force. Time in force I have set today just so that it gets canceled by the end of the day, because I don't want to have too many orders if I forget something or something like that, but you could set it to good till canceled if you would like. I also always have extended hours checked because sometimes I'm buying stocks in the pre-market and the after hours, so I always make sure to have that checked. You can even have automatic stop loss and take profit set, so if you're someone who scalps stocks, you can immediately set a take profit order at a percentage. So let's say I'm scalping stocks and I always want to take 3%. I can immediately put in a sell order right here for a 3% sell, and then I can have my stop loss, let's say at like 2%. So this way I'm always making sure I'm risking less than my gain every single time. You can of course set this to however you would like, but I think it's important. Then what I do here is set up your hotkey. So I have Control B set up. If I didn't want to do that, what I could do a combination of different things. So the combination must be either Control, either Shift, or Option with a letter or number. So whatever works best for you, what I would recommend if you set up a lot of hotkeys and you forget, put a little Post-it note on your computer, right in front of you. Put a little Post-it note on your desk so that you can, or even a note card, so that you can always refer back to, okay, I forgot, buying the bid plus 1 is always going to be Control and then B. So for me, buying bid, Control B, logically makes sense, so that's what I use. Then on my selling section, I have sell ask here, and the reason why I have sell ask is because it's the next logical step. Then if I want to sell, I pretty much do the exact same thing. All I did here that was different was I set the limit offset to 1 cent below the ask. This way I have a better chance of getting filled, and I have the hotkey as Control S. So it's very, very similar. It's just the opposite when I'm selling. Now, what you can do here, and I would recommend this for different situations, is have a buy market, maybe a Control M or a Command M or something along those lines for a buy market. And then if you want to sell market just to immediately liquidate yourself, get out of that position, these are good to have as well. Maybe where I use Shift M. So I'm going to be using Shift kind of for sell market. That's kind of how I would think about it, SM in a sense, for the hotkey for that. So you can do that as well. I would recommend having those in case of a worst case scenario, you just need to get out, have a market sell, have a market buy. So if you're missing something or if you want to get in really, really quick, you can do so. I'm someone who loves limit orders. I don't really like to use market orders because I don't want to get filled towards the ask if I'm buying, and I don't want to get filled towards the bid if I'm selling. So I don't use them too much, but I would recommend them if you're someone who's actively trading and you need to get out, have this ready to go. Now you can also do buy the ask and sell the bid if you would like to do that as well for your settings. You can set those up the same way. In my eyes here, it could be the exact same thing as a market order unless you're using a limit offset, because if you're going to be buying the ask, you're paying the highest price at that time for the stock, because the bids where the buyers are stacking up and the ask is where the sellers are stacking up. So if you're going to buy the ask, you're paying the highest price currently the market has. So that's why on liquid stocks that are moving, that have a lot of volume, I prefer to buy the bid plus 1 cent. Now you can do the exact same thing when it comes to options. So you can buy market, buy bid, and go through the exact same setups here. And there's a little bit less customizations, but at the end of the day, it's the same exact thing. And when it comes to contracts, you can kind of have a set number of contracts that you buy. And generally here, you trade option contracts that are generally in, let's say, the $5 to $10 range. Then you can kind of, back into your strategy of how many contracts you want to have your hotkey set to. I don't think as many people are going to use this for options, but if you're strictly an options trader, well, then that's the spot you need to be at. This is also interesting too, when things are going wrong or when something's happening, you can have a hotkey to cancel all current positions, all working orders for a current stock that you're on. Also, you can have a close position with market orders or limit orders for closing certain stocks. You can have that. And I think it's useful to have sometimes for a worst case scenario, if we get a haul down or something crazy happens, it's not a bad idea to dive through some of this. But hopefully this is starting to make some sense. Hopefully you get an idea of how these work. And then what you want to make sure you're doing is that I've had this issue happen before. if you're back on your account, right, if you're back on the stocks, and let's say you have this stock selected, but you go somewhere else, but for whatever reason you haven't touched the screen on a given stock, the platform may not know that. So it may actually execute that order from the previous stock that you have selected. So just make sure you're clicking on the correct stocks and you're on that stock. And when you type in, or when you click the first part to your actual hotkey, for example, if I click control right now, it's going to tell me at the top right here, active trader, PLTR, control plus B is buy the bid. And then I have my settings of +1 cent. So then I know that's going to happen when I go for PLTR right now. And I know that I'm trading PLTR. Just make sure that that last little confirmation is set up. Now also, you want to turn off order confirmations. You may not, but you also want to make sure you do that once you're a little more experienced. Why do I say turning off order confirmations? Well, because if you don't turn off order confirmations, when you click buy, Webull does an automatic thing where it actually has a little pop-up on the screen that says, are you sure? Do you want to place this order? And it gives you the, what the order is going to be, how much it's going to cost. So turn that off. Now, the danger of turning that off is if you make a wrong move or you make a mistake, then you could get screwed. So just, understand that obviously as you're more experienced, I think it's okay. You'll understand that, but just make sure you turn that off. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully this video was helpful in some way. There's a lot more you could do. You can have hotkeys to draw trend lines, to draw horizontal lines, vertical lines, things like that. For me, when I do my charting and things like that, I like to go in manually in the background and do it kind of myself. So I'm not someone who needs a hotkey for some of these things, but it is helpful. If you do want to be kind of quicker and you want to be able to move around your platform pretty fast, it's definitely helpful, especially if you have multiple layouts for different types of trading. Let's say you trade options on a certain layout, and then you go back and you want to trade stocks on a certain layout. Well, you can always have your hotkey set up. For example, right here, I can go to option 1 and I can be, boom, right back at this watch. So I can go to option 2 and I can be back at this page. So I can quickly navigate my different pages through those hotkeys. So I would recommend you have them set up, or you start experimenting, test out what works best for you, see what you like, and let me know in the comments section down below if this video was helpful in some way, shape, or form. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, for watching this video. I think these are going to be very, very helpful, especially for people who are looking to get in and out of trades very, very fast. And it's another perk to the Webull platform. So if you guys have not already signed up for this broker, this platform down below, there's a link in the pinned comment and description box down below to sign up and get 2 free stocks up to $1,850, which is awesome. You get trading hours from 4 a.m. Eastern all the way to 8 p.m. Eastern, as well as the normal hours, and no commission. So I like the broker. I use it every single day. That's why I recommend it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.